Welcome to the Town of Acton, Maine Selectmen's meeting for December 13th, 2016. First item is salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion on that? Nope. Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Any discussion?
Did you approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
We will.
You tabled those because Elise hadn't read them.
Didn't we?
I was going to get to
November
that. You made your
29th.
motion, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, on this one, this is the last meeting, so call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, and then we got to do the,
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 29th.
Second.
okay, moved and seconded to approve the minutes of November 29th. Any discussion on that? Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Great. Department heads, committee chair updates. Road committee update. The road committee update.
Per your instruction, I spoke to both road commissioners and asked them to schedule a meeting. That was how it was left last week.
Okay.
They feel strongly that the meeting can be held in the spring. I did indicate that, that a couple of them had attended this workshop and that possibly, they might have some information to share. The concern that I'm getting back from them really is they're not understanding the purpose of it. And I'm kind of, it's difficult, it's getting to be more and more of a difficult conversation because I think that, what I've tried to relate to both of them is that until we get the committee together and everybody kind of puts their ideas on the table and figures out, what we can do for one another and how we can help, it's really hard to say what direction the committee's going into. One of them is adamant that this is a busy time of year and spring is best. The other one really doesn't want to, choose sides. The other thing that they presented to me late in the day was their willingness to have a workshop. They're looking for a roundtable workshop, that no action could be taken, and they do not want it filmed. That's where it's at.
They need to have a meeting. They need to elect a chair. There's some things that they need to do.
Short of bringing them in front of you, Ed, I'm not sure what else,
Yeah.
what I can do next.
Yeah. Did we ever determine who can call the meeting?
I think that there are different opinions on that, so I think that you may get a different opinion from a few different people. These are legal questions that we've had answered many times over the years. We can bring up all those old emails and review them again. There's a lot of questions as to, was the road committee really supposed to do anything other than that 2002 article? It's just perception. Everybody has a different opinion at this point.
I think the fact that they've met since 2002
to do things other than
takes that off the table. So that, I think that puts that one aside.
Especially since they've worked on things outside of that warrant article.
Right.
And we know that the townspeople voted to keep the road committee. They spoke very wholeheartedly 2 years ago that they wanted to keep this committee.
Yep. Yep. I think they need to meet before spring. There may be some things that the committee may be able to help them budget-wise on. So I think they need to meet.
And I can tell you that I have done my best to portray that.
Oh, I'm sure. So I think maybe we'll just set a time
Okay.
for them to meet. What's the feelings of the rest of the board here?
I agree, especially with budget season coming up. If there's something to discuss budget-wise, it should be done during budget season.
Yep. You okay with that too, Bill?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if we should poll the existing road committee and see what days are good for them, or just simply put a date on paper. I guess if there's anyone else here from the road committee that wishes to weigh in on this.
Good evening. My name is Williams. I'm on the road committee. I would strongly urge you to proceed in what you're talking about now and actually calling a meeting. There's confusion as to who if any, is automatic a chairperson, because at one point it was felt like the commissioners were the chairs of this. I don't know whether that's even has been the same
That I don't think.
mechanism
I wouldn't say that's
over
accurate.
these last few years or not. But we have 3 or 4 people who are not commissioners who are very eager to begin the process. And having looked at about 5 or 6 towns on the internet here in Maine, there's a lot of stuff that we can start with. One would be to start renewing the inventory of conditions of the town roads, as was done back in the early part of this century, and updated. But there's a whole bunch of other things as far as signage and center lane designation, and areas of substance as far as width of lane, speed limits, assistance with budget preparation for road work and maintenance, monitor construction performance, attend workshops. There's a number of excellent workshops in addition to the one that Ms. Miller and Ms. Hart and I attended this past week that are operated by the Maine Local Roads Center in Augusta. And they will put on presentations. They will help us with making a 10-year plan for updating and modernizing our road service. They will come here. We can go there. They have done this many times with other communities, and have a great deal of expertise that we really need to start hooking up to, because the 21st century is different in terms of how they handle snow and ice, for example, than what we have traditionally done in years past. That's not only better for the environment, but cheaper for the town pocketbook. So on that, I thank you for taking the initiative of calling a meeting. And I'm not speaking for the rest of the committee, but I can tell you that any day of the week, it probably should be one that the almanac says is a non-snow day, would be fine to do. But anything as far as I can see would be fine with most of us who are not commissioners.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Great. You have the email addresses, Jennifer, for most of the people on the committee, or all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I guess the best thing to do is pick maybe 3 different dates.
Okay.
Send out a poll to the committee members and use whichever one comes back as the most.
Okay. If you just give me how soon of a date you're looking at, so that I'm not choosing the first one.
What day's next?
I'll pick 3 days from there.
Let's see, we're in December right now, so. This is the 13th. Well, it's too quick to pull one for this week. Maybe pick a day next week, a day after Christmas, and maybe one the 1st of January.
Okay.
You know, that way you've got 3 different weeks. And
That was a holiday day after Christmas.
Well, I
No,
think he means the week after.
The week after Christmas, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that way you've got 3 different weeks and pick 3 different days during the week.
And the liaison is Elise, we
Elise.
decided?
Mr. Chairman.
Sir.
I would like also if you would make a statement about television, because it is a town committee now. It's been verified by the voters, and we would certainly want to have it televised.
It will be televised, it's gonna be a regular meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, I think that's the best way to do it, so.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, do we want to discuss the snow and ice control workshop update?
It was very informative as far as the different methods to apply material to the road to keep it safe, and the cost-effective method would be the pre-wetting of salt, and it was just very informative. I have a whole folder full of notes and information on that, and we will probably talk about it at the first road committee meeting.
Great, okay. Oh,
Mr. Chair, I had left some booklets with the town clerk on best demonstrated practices. This is a summation by the State
Something like
Department of Transportation. I brought home about 3 or 4 copies, so I think each of you would have one.
Okay.
Yes?
Actually, you only left me one, and you wanted them to pass it to
I will
them.
get another one then. Okay. But it was very informative, and the technology is changing so rapidly. And as Ms. Miller said, the idea of putting dry anything on the road is a no-no. in 2016. And it's all wet processing of salt and various kinds of salt, brines, and calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and sodium chloride. And the temperature of the highway that it's being applied to, the ambient temperature of the air, it's all done by computers at this point in time. And certainly that would be one of the things that I think the committee ought to be doing, is setting up a 10-year plan to convert over. Obviously, we can't do it overnight. Obviously, it's very expensive, but to be able to do it in phases that the voters would approve, and to the point where we would be up to date in the 21st century with the way that it should be done, both by the state of Maine as well as now by the federal people. And I think the other data we got was from the state of Michigan, and it was almost identical to the state of Maine. That you save money and you use less salt, and nobody uses any sand anymore, is the basic precepts.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think we just need to make sure that it's all gonna be safe around our lakes. I mean, that's my major concern with it, and, which it probably is, so, okay. Great, anything else on that? No? Old business, library glass door.
Looks great.
Got replaced today,
The new one.
so
Great,
it's officially off the agenda.
Okay, and that was taken care of by the welding the gentleman that put the railings up?
Correct.
Perfect, great. Rear stairs?
Was also completed
Yay.
yesterday with made good use of our snow day, so those stairs are done. You shouldn't see any more bills coming through with that.
Perfect, okay,
We came in way under budget for that.
that's nice. Removal of old sand salt building.
So following up from the workshop that we had with the treasurer, I think that the direction that I heard is that I'm going to contact CIA or CAI, find out how long they'll honor that bid for, and see if we can come up with some type of agreement. Should the townspeople approve it, start the work immediately thereafter the new fiscal
Right
year.
after town meeting. Okay, yep.
So I'll
I
check in
hate
with
to
them.
put it back out to bid, as I stated, 'cause
Right, and
I
I
think
mean-
we got a good number, and I think the new number is going to be considerably higher if we go out to bid after the fact, so,
Okay, let's see what they have to say.
yeah, if they'll hold that bid number, that'd be wonderful.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
In any of these contracts, are we going to also specify that they would get rid of all of the material that they have collected and put it to proper disposal?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a
Because right now, it's a big pile and there's all sorts of horrible,
No, this is the old
Petroleum
sand salt
product.
building. This is a
Yes.
standing building right now.
yes, I know, but they have a big pile of debris there that they have started with.
No, they've not taken the building down yet. It's still a standing building.
What's the debris that
And
you're
I don't know
seeing?
where the debris is, it's right next to the building.
Oh, next to it?
Yep,
It must be I don't know if it's something that the road commissioners have, or
We'd have to check with them.
I'll have to check on that and see.
and it's
so-
filled with snow right now, but
Yeah.
it's a big pile.
Yeah,
So this
okay.
building should be barricaded off. This is the old sand and salt building. It's barricaded off.
The old big triangular shaped building.
Yes, no,
so,
no,
yeah.
I was down
Okay.
there, I actually saw it.
Okay,
Okay, but
Yep.
whatever the disposal thing is, it needs to be done carefully, because some of that may have to even be incinerated, because.
oh, yeah,
it's
no,
sort
the
of
companies,
leach-
both
leach-
companies are.
Are all bonded and know what to do as far as
Know what they're doing.
EPA?
Yep, they're both buildings that take care of these type
Perfect,
of
thank you,
things.
sir.
Yep. New business, the budget timeline. We did-
If you wanted to follow up, did I give you your copy back that I photocopied?
No, I gave it to you and I haven't seen it since.
There it is. Oh, this is yours, because it's had handwriting on it.
No, this one's got handwriting too.
And when I copied it, that came along with it.
They all do.
If you guys wanted to discuss that at all, or put that forward, okay?
Sure. Well, it's gonna come out in an email to everyone, but, to the, department heads, but we discussed tonight at a workshop, the timeline for the budget deadline for the upcoming fiscal, budget season. So, we've got a number of dates down here. I guess I could go through these, it's really no problem. February 17th is going to be the nonprofit 501c requests, and department budgets will be due, and the department budgets will be due that day as well. That's February 17th. February 24th, any proposed zoning ordinance changes must be in our office. March 7th, we'll have a meeting with the treasurer, the town administrator, and the selectmen, just to go over the budgets. Selectmen review of the budgets, prepare warrant articles with treasurer and town administrator on March 21st. The budget books and the draft warrants will be presented to Warrant and Finance on April 4th. Social services, that should actually say nonprofits, shouldn't it?
Should, yes.
Okay, so we did change the name of the social service line to nonprofit. So the nonprofit to meet with Warrant and Finance and the Selectmen on April 10th, that's a Monday night. There'll be a meeting with each and every one of those. Department heads to meet with Warrant and Finance and Selectmen. This is April 22nd, that's our typical Saturday meeting that the Selectmen have with the Warrant and Finance Committee to meet with the department heads. Selectmen's make recommendations on the warrant articles. That's going to be a two-part deal with May 2nd and May 9th. Warrant and Finance recommendations on the warrants will be due May 10th. Selectmen to sign the warrants on May 16th. Warrant to be posted on this May 17th. Election at the town hall from 8 to 8, that'll be June 6th. And the town meeting at the Acton School, this is for the town, at 9 a.m. on June 10th. It's nice we're talking into May and June, and we're not even into January yet. So that's a tentative layout of the timeline for this year's budget process. So there's been a few little tweaks in there and trying to get it very much user-friendly. Like I stated, the Saturday meeting with the department heads, that is with Warrant and Finance. They're part of that meeting with the Selectmen. So we'll all be grilling each department head and seeing what they want to do and how things are going with that. So that's the way it should play out. Okay, any more discussion on that? Anything you want to discuss? No? Anything, Bill?
Nope.
No? Anything, Jennifer? No? Okay. Impound policy for cats and dogs.
Kind of funny, but we hadn't run across it, so after speaking to animal welfare in Kennebunk today. So the town has a verbal agreement with animal welfare that essentially says that if the animal control officer picks up someone's dog and it's taken to the shelter, that the dog owner has to come to the town first, pay a $40 impound fee. They take that receipt down to Kennebunk and they release the dog. The idea behind that is to try to recoup some of the fees from the animal control officer for mileage and salary so that it's not coming out of taxpayers' pocket because it's your dog. The question is that doesn't come off often is, does the board wish to set that same fee for cats? So it's essentially the same idea, and we've had a couple of these situations. We have, complaints about stray cats. Cat gets picked up, the cat gets taken to the shelter. The question comes in is, the town has never charged a fee for the cats before. So, Kennebunk says that you need to make a decision, and we'll draft up a policy so that both places have it and everybody's on the same page.
I'm kind of confused at why somebody would pick up a cat. Pretty
Because
hard.
someone calls and says, there's been a stray cat at my house for the last 3 days, I've trapped it, come and get it, or I'm gonna shoot it.
Oh, okay.
So they go and get it.
Pretty straightforward.
Those are about the calls that come in.
Okay.
They go and get the
Well,
cat, the cat then goes to the shelter.
If it costs the town money, then we should try to recoup that.
Should be the same policy. I would
agree
insert
100%.
cat.
Just wanted to double check.
Yep. Sound good to you, Bill?
Yep.
Yeah, that's assuming, right, the cat doesn't have a tag on, and certainly
Yeah.
make every attempt to find the
Yep.
cat's owner.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna use the same ability to try to find the owner of the cat as he would a dog, and if it doesn't work, then to the
Shelter
shelter it
around.
goes.
Okay.
Yep, great. Snow closure policy.
This is the policy that was last amended in October 27th of 2011 with the winter upon us. I know we had a situation with the transfer station yesterday that we needed to close. There's been some talk, I know, I think Elise posted in an email, maybe we just get on track with the school, are they a little more lenient than maybe we need to be with the town hall staff? But wanted to give you a chance to read this and discuss it, since it's been several years.
Okay. You wanna go ahead and read it?
Emergency closure policy. The municipal offices and transfer station may be closed in the event of a weather or other public emergency. Every attempt will be made to service the townspeople of Acton while keeping the safety of our employees in mind. During extreme weather conditions, the office manager will consult with a road commissioner about road conditions. The office manager will then decide whether to delay the opening or close town services. The Board of Selectmen, Transfer Station Superintendent, and department heads will be notified immediately of the decision. Whenever possible, a decision will be made at least 2 hours before the scheduled opening of municipal services. Employees who are scheduled to work will be notified of any delay or closure by their immediate supervisor. Employees should direct questions or concerns to their immediate supervisor. The office manager will make every attempt to notify the public of an emergency closing by way of the town's website, local news, and cable television station, as well as updating the voicemail on the town's telephone system. The board recognizes, depending on the emergency, all of these methods of notifying the public may not always be available.
Thank you. One thing that needs to be changed is office manager, I think needs to be changed to town administrator. Correct?
Correct?
Correct. And your idea was that if the schools are closed, I don't know if we need to go quite that far or not. What's the, you know the workings here better than any, but, I mean, it's a good ruler to use. So,
Does the school check with the road commissioners, or?
Yes.
Okay, so if the road commissioners are saying the schools should be closed or delayed, I mean, as far as Monday, I mean, I wouldn't have, the school closed on Monday, but if the town hall had normal 9 to 4 hours, I feel like by noon, people could have been out safely. So it really is hard to.
Right, and originally, when I first started in Acton, they had the policy that we followed it based on the school. And that was the concern that came up. I mean, certainly the buses, there's more riding on the plate with the buses, and they've got routes during the day, and they've got Voc runs that they may make. We thought that we didn't need to close as often as the school may deem necessary, especially where, some of the staff doesn't need to come in until 9. Compare that to high school run at, 6:30. That, we don't want to close,
Right.
unless it's really severe, but, I mean, I'm fine with the policy staying the way it is. I'm not sure that,
I mean, there's enough ways of people are going to look. If it's snowing, they're gonna, I hope that they would either call first or check their,
Right.
Local station's website. If anything, call first before you come out. See what's on the message.
yeah, I mean, you're the one who has to work directly with it. I mean, I'm all for making sure that we don't get any unnecessary travel on the roads,
right.
but it probably does need to be a little more flexible than the school.
Right, I mean, it would, it would certainly be easier if we just followed the schools, because that's, one less decision and a lot more, a lot more stuff that somebody else is gonna do, but,
Right.
At the same time, I mean, we, our job is to work for the people, and there are probably several times that, we probably could work that the school might not feel the same, so
Yep.
we'll just leave it as is.
Leave it
and-
as is, and,
Just make the administrator, just
Yep.
make the change to
All
town
changes
administrator
and-
and, okay. Sound good to you, Bill?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay,
So we'll put it on the agenda for next week.
sure. Insured cash sweep accounts. We met with the treasurer this afternoon as well. And the bank we use, SIS, it's not a new program, but it's a program, it's called a cash sweep. So our money that sits in the bank is all protected under FDIC. It's swept into a number of different smaller accounts, as opposed to sitting in a larger account. It's something she feels as though we should be doing. It's nothing new. It's something banks have done for a long time, big businesses have done. Bill weighed in, and, you were aware of businesses that did this for quite some time, so
Yes, this is common.
Yeah, very common
Higher
thing.
interest rate?
Pardon?
Higher interest rate?
Yeah, it's a little higher interest rate. I mean, the banks don't pay much anyway. It's 0.1% higher, but
It's out.
it helps, but it's also, it secures our money better. So, and that's the big thing. Make sure that we, you know, are keeping close tabs on the money that we have in the account. So if something did happen, it's protected, so. I guess we need a vote of the board to allow the treasurer to enter into the agreement with SIS with the insured cash sweep accounts. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the cash sweep account for the, I'll just say that, sweep accounts.
I think that's all you need to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Insured cash sweep accounts.
I second.
Moved and seconded to allow the treasurer to enter the agreement with SIS to do the cash sweep accounts. Any further discussion? No, call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Great. Now we're at the public comment section. For those at home tonight, we do have folks in the audience. Anyone wish to say anything or have any comments for the board? No? Okay, I'll move on. Announcements. 2007 dog licenses are now available. We have a special town meeting tonight, December 13th at 6 o'clock. Just 6 o'clock tonight, just following this meeting. The tree lighting, I neglected to say last week. I want to thank those who were involved with the tree lighting and the decorating of the town hall and the whole festivities we had back here on the 3rd of December, I think it was.
Yep.
Yes. 2nd of December?
Third.
3rd of December. I was not here, but I understand the turnout was remarkable, which was a great thing. I mean, a lot of people came out, there was a lot of good food eaten, from what I understand, caroling, and of course our tree was lit. So I just wanted to thank all that was involved in putting that together and those that came out that night for that. Transfer station in the town hall will be closed 1 PM December 21st. That's for the Christmas party here at the town hall for the employees. Town hall will be closed to December 23rd for the Christmas break. The transfer station will be closed December 24th, which is a Saturday before Christmas. Anything from the board? Anything?
No.
No? Anything, Bill?
No, sir.
No? Okay, and nothing else. Once again, tonight at 6 o'clock right here at the town hall, we have a special town meeting that's going to be in about a half an hour, so. And that's to go over some things with the Goat Hill property that we're looking to purchase with Three Rivers. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor? All opposed? Good night, all.